here I am in Danville, Illinois. I am ready to race tomorrow, and we've got all of the map related information that we could ever want. So a few things struck me immediately when I saw the map yesterday, and the first was that it's pretty short for a beast. I think Ohio had 36 obstacles and was almost 15 miles. This is about 13 miles and it's 32 obstacles. And based on the information I have, it all sounds pretty basic. The first several obstacles are like walls and pipe layer. Then there's Olympus, which is early, but there is going to be a penalty loop for Olympus. So I'm very excited that I won't have to do burpees, at least for a little while, guaranteed. After that is a water crossing, and then over walls, because we meet back up with the sprint course, so we kind of start over with the easy obstacles. Over walls and a 6-foot wall and A-frame cargo. Then at mile 5.5 is monkey bars, which hopefully is far enough into the race that sunscreen and sweat won't be as much of a factor. A lot of times by then you're sweating less, so fingers crossed that it won't be too disgusting. Then inverted wall, and then rope climb, which also has a penalty loop, but I'm not anticipating problems because I have new rope gloves that are guaranteed to be grippy. I tried them out. Instead of paying $1 for them, I paid $5 for them at Menards, and these are wet, dry, super grip gloves, so these should be fine on the rope. Sandbag, barbed wire, Z-walls, Atlas carry, the box. The box also has a penalty loop, but I feel like that's kind of a waste of a penalty loop, because if you're running open, you're just going to get help on it anyway. So I guess, for the elites and the age groupers, they don't have to do burpees there. Tyro Traverse, those will definitely be my first burpees, probably. Twister, I don't know if it'll be in beast mode or if it'll just be 2 sections, but if it's in beast mode, I'll be able to give it a shot, because I've never actually done a beast mode twister in my being able to clear twister era of racing. Bender armor beater, stairway to Sparta, which also has a penalty loop, but I'm gonna try and get up it by myself, but otherwise I always just take help. It's not a big deal. Bucket Helix multi-rig, which I'm hoping that the rope grips that I saw in a video in West Virginia with no knots at the bottom, I'm hoping that was just for the national series, because if there are no knots on the bottom, I'm failing it. But if there are knots, I have a shot. Vertical cargo, then the dunk wall and the slip wall back to back. Now I'm thinking that there's no rolling mud, because it's just not a very muddy course. There's parts where you go through mud, but this is probably going to be in a sandy area, so I'm thinking they might do what they did in 2019 and have a tarp lining the bottom, so that's the cleanest dunk wall. Oh, I hope that's what it is. Oh, I'm so excited. Then slip wall, yeah. And we're finishing up the same 3 obstacles that we finished with in 2019. Spear throw, Herc hoist, fire jump. So I'm really excited about this. Apparently the beast is 13.2 miles and the sprint is 3.65 miles. So that's really not too bad at all, and not too bad for doing multi-days. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. As ready as I'll ever be. I'm really excited about this being in this venue again with all the deep sand and seeing how I handle it this year. It's going to be supposedly very hot but dry, meaning it's not going to be raining. It might be humid, but at least it's not going to be raining. But it's supposed to be around 85 for a high, so maybe the real feel will be 90, which is pretty much what we did in Ohio. So I can handle that as long as I'm got the water, I've got the electrolytes, I've got my cookies ready to go, so I should be all set for tomorrow. I went to Jocko's for dinner. It is the most highly rated Italian place in Danville, and I got spinach and cheese ravioli Alfredo, which comes with garlic bread, which looks fantastic. And for tomorrow, a pepperoni pizza. Oh my god. What I'm most excited about, the turtle brownie. This thing has heft to it. Oh my god. I'm gonna be eating good tonight. Attica! I'm here. There's a guy in a Speedo behind me. It's lovely. They're running a bit late. The check-in was kind of understaffed and crazy. But hopefully we'll be able to get going. Maybe Wes and I can run together because of this lateness. So I'm excited. We did it! We did it! Wes got
Where's your medal?
Wes got 4 trifectas. I got 2 trifectas. But that base was brutal.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was really hot. And
not in like a Michael Fassbender way, but like in a bad way. So everybody was like dying. But I failed Olympus, Twister, and multi-rig. And I think that's it. I got Tyro for the first time. And Wes failed only a few things too.
Yeah, Olympus, box, Stairway to Sparta, multi-rig. I think that's it. No.
See,
I had one more. I forget what it was.
Twister?
Twister, yeah.
Yeah, because I
3-section twister.
I cheated on the box and stairway, otherwise we would have had the same fails basically. Yep. So that's good. Yeah! We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be feeling okay.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be cooler.
Yeah, no kidding. Probably not. All right. Well, that was a fun day. And now I am going to go through, while I still have a fresh memory, and talk about the race. So, first of all, it was pretty damn hot outside. Like, I'd say the high was in the low 90s for the real feel, so it was just brutally hot. And the thing about it is, like, you come out onto these sand dunes, and the sun's beating down on the sand, and it's making it reflect the heat even more than it already was. So it was just extremely hot. The obstacles even got hot. Like there were some, like the bar in multi-rig allegedly got hot. The platform for the vertical cargo got really hot. So it affected lots of things. But I was feeling pretty damn good in this race for a while. But we'll just go through the obstacles. I was doing really great in the beginning. I got over the hurdle by myself, the 7-foot wall, and the 8-foot wall all by myself. Pipe layer, obviously, is a breeze. Olympus, I did fail, like, immediately. I tried to go on the knees. It did not work, so I did the penalty loop for that. Then later on was a water crossing, which was just walking through water, which there was plenty of that on the course, which is fine. It didn't feel bad. Over walls, and the 6-foot wall. This was all, the 6-foot wall was by the festival area, so that was kind of nice to get into that. A-frame cargo was easy. The monkey bars were really easy. They were dry as a bone. They weren't too far apart, so I was able to just really smoothly go through them, no problems at all. So I'm very excited that they were pretty damn easy. So, because if I do them twice tomorrow, I don't want to have to just totally suck. Inverted wall, got over that myself. Rope climb, got up that. That had a penalty loop too, but I didn't have to do it. Boop, boop. Sandbag carry, that was hard. Oh my god, I was like toasted by that. The barbed wire crawl was up, this one was uphill through deep sand. So there was another barbed wire crawl later that was not on the map and not on the list, and that was in like a wooded area, but fortunately it wasn't terribly muddy. Then Z-walls, which were tough. I almost fell on several occasions. I did not plan it well, but I somehow managed to squeak through there. Atlas carry was fine. The box I needed a boost on, as usual. And after the box, between the box and Tyro Traverse and then a little bit on Twister, I met this girl who was really, really nice, so we had a conversation. So after the box was Tyro Traverse, and I was feeling a little nervous about it, but because I knew Twister was right after, so I was like, oh god, like, am I going to have to do like 2 sets of burpees back to back? And I got on Tyro Traverse. I started moving. As soon as I got on there, my calf cramped up. So I was like, shit. So I had to like stay on there a little bit, like keep my toe flexed up and try and let that kind of abate. And then I just started moving, and I tried to move as quickly as I could and just keep moving. And I was walking my feet. I wasn't dragging them because my leggings didn't go all the way to the bottom, so I didn't want to rip my skin apart. But I just kept on moving, and I refused to let go, and I did hit the bell. First time Tyro Traverse. I was so psyched. After that was Twister, which was 3 sections, and I got through the first section, but then I could not figure out how to grab onto the scaffolding between each section, because normally, like, the lane that I'm on, there's like a similarly directed kind of handle on the scaffolding, and there was not for me here. So I was like, oh god. And then I was just like, screw it, my grip is like gone anyway, because this was right after Tyro Traverse. My hands were like so I had to do burpees after that, and that was slow going. I would say that this was probably the point in the race where things started to go slightly south. It was like mile 9. It was just so hot, and there was such a cumulative effect. I think those burpees really just kind of put me over the top as far as just starting to feel kind of crappy. So after this, just assume that I'm just staggering through at this point. After Twister came Bender, which I got up and over really easily. Armor was fine. Beater was fine. So at this point, I have most of the overhead grip obstacles behind me, so I was happy about that. Stairway to Sparta, there was just no way. I mean, oh my god, this thing looms. It is enormous, so a guy boosted me up on that. The bucket carry. I was dreading this, because at this point, it's like mile 11, and I was struggling so badly. It was more like mile 12, actually. They say it's mile 11, but they were liars. So I was just like freaking out. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but it ended up being at least easier than the stupid sandbag carry. Then Helix, which I definitely cheated on because I don't like Helix, and I don't respect Helix as an obstacle. And I still don't exactly know how to do it. Like, I'm going to have to look up some videos and see exactly, like, what I'm supposed to do and not do, because I don't get it. So, after that was the multi-rig. And at this point, I noticed pretty much everybody except, like, the totally, like, jacked dudes, the jackedest of the jacked, are failing this. I mean, everybody's failing it. To the point where the volunteer's like, okay, just give me maybe 15 burpees if you feel like it, otherwise just keep on going. So, at this point, I was toasted. I couldn't do burpees if you paid me $100 per burpee. So I was doing sit-ups. I did do 30 sit-ups. I didn't do 15. But yeah, I did not feel that I should continue with burpees at that point. Then was the vertical cargo, which had the platform. Not too hard to get up there. Then was dunk wall, which was lined with a tarp, but it was still a little dirty, but that's okay. It felt really good because it was so freaking hot. It felt really good to go under the dunk wall. And then right after that was the slip wall, which I was nervous about because it had short ropes. And the surface of the slip wall was like sand, wet sand. And the volunteers like, just run really fast and don't grab the end of the rope because it's slippery. So we're making jokes. And we're like, okay, so don't grab the tip. You gotta grab about 6 inches deep in there. It was funny. Anyway. Long story short, my first attempt running at it, I didn't run fast enough because I was worried that the wall would be really slippery. But in that attempt, I realized it's really not that slippery. So on the second attempt, I did get the rope because I ran harder at it. So, and then I got over the top without any incident. So that was good because I was hearing people slam into the slip wall below me, and I was like, "Don't look down! Don't look down! Don't look at whatever's going on." Then we climb up to the top, of the hill and come over the rise, and there's the festival area, hooray! And I go to the spear throw. I find a station that's already got a stuck spear in it. I pull it out and I chuck it, and I miss to the right of the target by like 4 or 5 inches. I was like, damn it! So I went and did my sit-ups, and I hear Wes on the sideline. He's like, Claire, don't tell me you missed the spear. You know what that means? And I was like, you hit the spear. Because he always hits the spear when I miss it, and vice versa. So only one of us can ever hit the damn spear in any given race. So then Hercules, which I did really easily, but there were people, I saw 2 people while I was there, a man and a woman, drop the bag. It wasn't in beast mode, so I don't know what their deal was. At least it didn't feel like it was in beast mode. Maybe I'm just that strong. Probably not, though. And then the fire jump, and we're done. So I failed Olympus. I failed Olympus, Twister, multi-rig, and spear. So the fact that I cleared Tyro Traverse is really good. I think that's the fewest failures I've had in a beast, which is great. And it's a new course personal best. I did about 5:41, and the first time I did the Attica beast was like 6:10 or something like that. So we're getting better, but there's still some ways that can be improved upon. But yeah, it was just so hot. I was swelling. Everybody was swelling. Like I still look kind of swollen. I need to rehydrate because otherwise tomorrow's going to be just an absolute nightmare.
Which is no small feat unto itself. So we are very glad to have you guys have a great race. I know it's going to be great for you. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 Spartan Sprint. My name is Patrick. I'm going to give you guys some course information, some tips and rules, and then I'm going to dismiss you with the Spartan speech. For having your races out there, your races guys. These guys are going to do this without any excuses at all. They're going to stay in no matter what. And that is awesome. So, don't psych yourself out now because, I don't want to put pressure on you, but you might make it look a little bad. So just to reassure, we don't have any excuses now.
Nice! Nice job!
Thank you. Once you go back, let go and start going with your other hand. Rip. My hand's ripped. You got it.
Nice!
There you go. Step on it. Get caught in the bar. Aim high.
Thank God!
Kids must stay on the pin obstacle. They cannot use the adult obstacle.
Oh my God! The curse continues! Oh!
How is that possible?
I take full legal responsibility for that spear miss. It's entirely my fault. I'm sorry, Wes! I'm sorry! What?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, sprint in Attica is complete. I ran only my third clean race of my entire career. It was amazing. I feel good, but I'm sure not going to go out and do a second lap because it is getting hot and I just have had enough of the heat. So I'm going to enjoy the victory of that first lap and settle in for a drive home and hopefully get home a little bit earlier than I expected to. So awesome weekend here in Attica. All right, just got home from my race. First thing I did was take a shower, hence the wet hair. But I didn't get to talk too much about the race. For the third time in my Spartan racing history, I had a clean race, no failures. It is a bummer that we continued the unfortunate curse of either Wes or I hitting the spear, and not both of us. We actually decided beforehand, like as we were approaching the festival area at the end, we were like, who should go first? and Wes was like, okay, you go first, and then like you're kind of, you know, setting your own destiny. And I said, yeah, because I think you could handle the pressure better of like, you know, breaking our curse by being able to hit the spear because he's so damn good at it. And of course, like it does turn out to be an actual curse. Here, I thought until now that it was just a coincidence. Because Wes went out for a second lap after that, and he hit the spear on the second lap. So, of course, like, I told him he would, too. I was like, I'm not doing a second lap, so, yeah, you'll be able to hit that fine. I felt good enough after my effort in the first race, and it was getting so hot, and I was just kind of over the heat. I was just feeling really fatigued from it, so I was like, I'm not going to do a second lap, so that plan did not end up going through. But I just had a blast this weekend. It was hot, but it was fun, and it was great to get to play in Attica again.